Oh, alright. Alright, back at it again. One second. Let me turn this up a bit. Okay, now the music's a little too loud for me, so I'll turn this down. Okay, and then I'll turn this up. Okay, that should be good, right? Okay. Welcome back. Here we go again. Yeah, we're started. Okay, so we should have everything kind of set up. Let's get in the scripts and see kind of where we're at. Okay. Let me turn this down a little bit more. So just it's a little too loud for me. And then I can turn this up. Alright, that's fine. Okay. That's fine, whatever. Okay, so okay, so I need to do a couple things. Debug. One thing I need to figure out is how to log with timestamps. No. I think it already does that by default. Debug.log. Enter. Title. Sequence. Starting game. Okay. Text fade in plus or pulse. Trigger text fade in pulse. Okay, let's just run it and see where we're at. Didn't get anything. Enter title sequence. Okay, none of that worked. UI controller fade out. UI fade out. Copy this over here. Fade in. I don't think it should fade out here. Okay, it's all fine. Fade out should be different though. Should be the opposite. 0 to 1. And then fade in. Should be the other way around. Is this working? Yes. Not exactly. What did it call? Fade out again. Okay, that's fine. Because what we really want is a fade in. Okay, another thing is the fade out on its finish. Fade out is 1 here, and this is supposed to be 0. There you go. Okay. Now, something about this UI controller that I need to fix. Fade duration. Where are you used? Should I do a... I feel like I should do a weight. That would be kind of cool. Let's do a float weight. Let's copy this. Put it here as well. Okay. And then we'll do a yield. Yield return new wait time. Okay, and we'll say wait here. Okay. So then we do 0F on both of these fade in and fade outs. There you go. But the fade duration I want to bump up. Let's go ahead and do this equals float weight equals 1F. So we give it an initial value. And then if it changes, we'll fix it. Wait. There you go. Nice. Wait. Okay, cool. So these are available. Fade out coroutine. Text Mesh Pro. Oh, I need to... Whoa! What is that? Oh, that's cool. What was that? Neat. So cool. Oh, dude, sick. I didn't know I could do that. Let's copy this. No params for this one. Well, how about this? How about I take my coroutines? Come here, you bastards. Take all my coroutines. Stick them down here. So there's all my coroutines. How do I do a section in Unity? How do I do section comments in Unity? Here we go. Oh, regions. Okay. Let's do regions here. Coroutine. So here's all my coroutines. Okay. This is backwards. Fade out is 0 to 1. And then fade in is 1 to 0. There you go. Fade out, fade in, raw image, fade out, raw image, fade out, we do this. Nope. Sorry. Float, weight, equal 1, F, and then we put weight here. place. Beautiful. Okay, we'll try this. Okay. Alright, cool. So we got the fade in working. Next is this. Oh, this is a void. It's just like that. Because this is how... I believe that this is working and that this is just not working. Yeah, you just start the coroutine like this. Let's try that. Okay. Okay, cool. Should I pixelize my... Let me look at my game again. No, I really shouldn't pixelize it. I mean, not a lot at least. I mean, pixelizing is probably not a bad idea. Like, it's too much here. So then we come in and we blur it. Too much. I think that is the right amount of pixelize. Okay, let's do this. Vignette.v2. Export as it's on my desktop. Oh shit, sorry, I didn't show that to anybody. I mean, this is it. This is the vignette. It's just a little bit more pixelized and a little bit darker. So let's go ahead and take this. This is a good song. Okay, so we take this. Drop it in here. What is this? I know what that is. Okay, so let's back up. Go back to my title screen. Go to my vignette. Okay, we take this. So I need to do this. The fade in, I need to take my thing and make it black to begin with. Wait, fade out. No, fade in. Okay. Sorry. But it's not temp color, it's gonna be the raw image for black screen. So if you're fading in, that means you're completely opaque. And if you're fading out, you're transparent. Oh my god, that's so good. Okay, so let's get my title, and we're gonna do delay before blank, pulse amount. Let's do like less pulse on this. Speed. Okay, not super stoked about that. Okay, I don't like that either. So let's do pulse speed is 0.5 instead. And let's bump up that. Okay, alright, so that just means we need to work on the fade to pulse script. It's fine. It's fine. Delay before fade. Okay, so elapse 0. Imagine, am I doing something in? Okay, so 0, original color, where's this decided? Okay, original color A, so from 0 to original color A, elapsed over fade duration, so this is how long it takes for it to get to this. This is all good. Why do I need this here? Okay, weird. It's not exactly what I want. Okay, let's keep that and see how it behaves with it. Okay. I think it's because of this. It's because we're starting in a spot on the sine wave. We're starting on a spot on the sine wave where it's like not correct. Okay, so what we do is we debug dot log this plus the pulse. Okay. Okay, so it's right. Okay, so I've done this math already. So we go from -1, 0 to positive 1. So instead, we want to add 1 and multiply by 0.5 to get it into this space only. Okay. Because if I add 1, this becomes 0, 1 to 2. And then if I divide by half, I only get this section. And now it's 0.5 is the center, and yeah, you get it. Okay, alright, let's try that. So 1 plus blank times 0.5 f. Okay, happy. Okay, so instead we go like this. If we add 1, it'll go from 1 to 2. Or from 0 to 2. Yeah. My music stopped. Oh, it sure did. It just stopped. Why does it start where it's starting? Alright. Phase offset. Hmm? It's a bunch of math. Hmm. None of this makes any sense to me. Alright, let's see what this does. This is not... How do I just have the sine wave start at 1 instead of 0? I don't need a crazy phase. Pi divided by 2. That's it. Okay, got it. This is all useless. All of this is useless. I just need to take this and this. Speed. And then just add math f pi divided by 2f. There. Because that's where it's starting. I know where it's starting. Okay, so let's redo this map now so that I can just see how the inside is working. Okay, so now how do I... How do I continue to shrink... Ooh, sorry. How do I continue to shrink this? I only want it... I only want it in this... Okay, so... I only want it in this range from 0 to 1. And what I want to do is make it so that, like, I can only do, like... I want to bring this side in. And keep 1. So... by bumping up the middle to 0.5... So if I wanted to do like, so 0 to 1 again, let's say I want to be 0.5 to heat 1. I'll have to add to 0.75 and then only cover this distance, 0.5. So this is only a difference of 0.5. So 2 divided by 2 divided by 2 is 1. Okay. Two divided by 2 is 1. So I know that it starts going by 2s. Okay, so x times 2 is equal to the range, which is the left to the right. So if I want this to be 0.5, so if I want this to be the range from 1 to 0.5, so it's the upper limit. So 1 minus 0.5 tells me, so 1 minus 0, so the upper limit, hang on, so the upper limit minus the lower limit, divide that by 2, that gives me the range. And then I just have to add the x. So in this case, the x would be 0.75. Can I extrapolate this from here? So it's, so in this case, this is 0.5. So then I say, I know that I will always do something from 0 to 1. 0.5 is here. 0 to 1. So in this case, it's 1 minus 0 divided by 2 equals upper limit minus lower limit equals 1 divided by 2 equals 0.5, which is my range. That's correct. 1 minus 0.5 is 0.5 divided by 2 is 0.25, which is also correct. These are my two limits. So these are my 2.25s. So I take the lower limit and then add the half. Oh, that's how I do it. Lower limit plus the result of this is x. X is my offset. So 0 plus lower limit time plus x. Okay. So I can calculate all this. So I do this. Basically, whenever I say fade intensity, what did I do? Original color, fade, delay, text, delay before fade, fade duration, pulse speed, pulse amount. So the pulse amount, if I were to say 1 is the full pulse amount, that means that I want to go all the way from 0 to 1. Okay? So pulse amount is 1 minus 0. Okay, so what we do is we say... We can calculate all this stuff here. So private, float, lower limit, private, float, upper limit, private, range or float, fade or intensity range. Offset. So I'll do all this calculation in the start. So we'll do all this right here. So pulse amount, if it is 1, okay, so let's do with 1. So we say upper limit equals pulse amount, lower limit equals 1 minus... Oh, upper limit is always 1. This is like a no contest. Upper limit will always be 1. Okay, lower limit is upper limit minus pulse amount. So there you go. Now I said intensity range is equal to the upper limit minus the lower limit. Divide that by 2, F. So we close this right here. Oh shit, sorry. I'm doing this code here. And then we do offset. Offset is equal to is equal to 0. We'll do lower limit plus the intensity range, divide that by 2F. Boop. Like that. Okay, now we come down here and we say offset times intensity range. There you go. So if it is 1, so let's do it with a pulse amount of 1. So 1. Upper limit is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Lower limit is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. 1 divided by blank is 0.5. And then 0.5. 0.5 is my intensity range. And then the offset would be the lower limit. 0.5. Lower limit is 0. Plus 0.5 divided by 2. Oh, that's not right. Upper limit upper limit is 1 minus 0 divided by 2 is 0.5. And then offset needs to be 0.5 as well. So 0, so I got that. That's correct. So there's my oh no, is that correct? I'm supposed to do offset is 0.5 and intensity is 0.5. Is this right? Damn it, I don't remember if this is right or not. Hi, Ethan. This mechanic is the this is for a pulsing color. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it so that I can make this thing pulse correctly. So basically, in a sine wave, you know, I don't know if you know, you should know what a sine wave is by now. A sine wave goes like this. Okay? And this is time. So as time goes along, a sine wave goes from 0 to its max value to its minimum value, from its max value to its minimum value. In this case, with a color, I want one, this is the sines 0. So theoretically, you have from 0 to 1 to -1. So it crosses, like, its maximum, like, distance traveled is 2 because it's going from 1 to -1. What I want to do is shift the sine wave up so that it stays positive. So here's the timeline. And then the sine wave instead looks like this. So now it goes from +1 to 0 at its valley, and at its peak it's 1. And then at its center line is 0.5. So the idea is that with a sine wave, you need to have an offset plus the math of the sine wave. So there's like, this value right here is what determines where the sine wave starts. So if you just start at sine wave 0, it'll just start right here at 0. And then you multiply this by the amplitude. So the amplitude is what determines if it goes from up to 1 down to -1, or if it goes from 1 to 0. It's the total distance traveled is what you get is the amplitude is, like, in this case would be 0.5. Amplitude 0.5 goes up 0.5, down 0.5. So what I'm trying to do is with my color range, if I'm at no. Hang on. This is like the alpha for the color. So the alpha for the color is going to shift between 0 and 1. What I'm trying to do is make it so that I have a formula for this so that I can, like, determine if a text will completely fade out or if it will only fade out a little bit and then come back. So I need a formula for the offset. I don't want it to completely fade out. That's what all this other math was for, was trying to figure out how to manipulate the sine wave so that I could oh damn it, well, I don't have all the other math, so it's fine. But basically that other math, what I found was if you have this line, you have I know that my alpha will always be between 0 and 1. So I have an upper limit is equal to 1. And then let's say that I choose some arbitrary lower limit. So my lower limit is equal to some arbitrary value. So it's y. So I know that the distance that I want to travel now is between these two values. So the distance I want to travel is between these two values. So that will be 1 minus the lower limit. And then the amplitude will be equal to this divided by 2. Because the amplitude is like, it's from this point to this point, okay? So that's the equation for the amplitude. What are you trying to make pulse? A color or a shape? I'm trying to make a color pulse. So 1 minus the lower limit times 2. So then I need the offset. So the offset will always be this value right here. This is where the offset exists. So this is my offset. So offset is equal to the lower limit, the arbitrary value, plus the amplitude. And that'll give me my offset. So there's my two equations. So with my two equations in hand, I should be able to go here. So my lower limit is equal to my upper limit minus my pulse amount. So my pulse amount is like how much I'm telling, or I'm going to say, oh, wait. Hang on a second. Why don't I just do this? Lower limit. 0f. Oh, I'm so dumb. I don't need this either. I need to, I got this amplitude and offset. Okay. Why did I go through all that nonsense there? Amplitude is equal to 1f minus lower limit, and then I put this in parentheses. Sorry, you helped me out a lot just by sitting there and listening. Divide that by 2, and then the offset is equal to my lower limit plus my amplitude. I was going through a bunch of math. Right now the title is only text. I want to make a custom thing for that. I will eventually. But for now it's just text. So that means my in this case, my lower limit is 0, which means it'll go straight to 0. Explaining your teaching helps me a lot too. I appreciate it, buddy. Okay, so that's basically how a sine wave works. Now what I should be able to do is if I say my lower limit, like I establish my lower limit as 0, these should fade out completely. So they'll fade in, and now the sine wave will start, and they'll go straight to 0, and then they'll start coming back as soon as they hit 0. Okay? Alright, great. Now, if I say my lower, I'll do this. My title has a different script on it. If I say my lower limit is halfway point of alpha, and I leave my lower limit of this at 0, the instructions will go to 0, and the title will only go to half brightness. And then it'll come back. So it won't fade out completely, it'll just get a little dim, and it'll come back. Beautiful. That's it. That's exactly what I wanted. Wow. Alright, it just took me, you know, going through that process with you to help me, like, get the math straight. Because the math was not right in my head before. What is going on? Oh, okay. I know what's going on. Okay, so we have some more stuff to work on. For this, I don't want this to fade out completely. I want it to actually be 7.5. I want this to be pretty visible. I want the... I think I like how long it's taking. Okay. I think, too, I want the instructions to blink a little bit faster, so I'll do this. I'll make this go up to 7.5. And I'll make the lower limit for this 0.2 instead. So I want it to blink faster. Okay, I made it slower accidentally. So instead of 0.75, I'll do 1.5 to make it faster. Yes, I will make that smaller. Ah, that's perfect. I think that's great. So let's make this smaller like he suggested. There you go. Okay, now I haven't finished doing the title sequence, so I just got this text to work. So basically what happens is, in the title sequence will be called, we do a UI controller fade in, which fades from the black screen in. We wait for 4 seconds, and then we do a title text trigger. So this title text trigger triggers the title to start appearing, and it'll start pulsing. Basically, I tell the game that, hey, the player is in control now, and then we wait another 4 seconds, and then the instructions trigger. Then, from here, we are in control. So since we're in control and we're not ready to start, once we become in control, we do ready to start, and then if we are ready to start, we can press any key down, and if we press a key down, we will start this. That is incorrect. We want to trigger the starting game coroutine. So we'll trigger starting game. So if we do starting game, we'll come down here to starting game. The fact that we were doing title sequence again, that's kind of why it was bugging out. So what we should see from here is if we do this, we will be able to, we'll start the game. All of our stuff will start fading out. So we're in control. So now I know I'm in control. I'll see this. And if I press start, I should see everything start to fade away. It did not. Well, my guy's waking up. Okay, so it didn't quite work. But I know here that my game started, so that's good. I'm going to come in here and turn off my debugs because this is getting to be a lot. I'm going to turn this off. So the debug, I'm just testing to see, to make sure that the sequence of my title screen is working. The sequence isn't working quite yet. Yeah, the UI came back. So starting game, and then it triggered TFIP. So the TFIP is the text fade in. The text fade in process. So the text fade in process got triggered. Let me go see why. So in starting game, it's probably some logical stuff in starting game. So starting game, UI, I'm fading out. So I want to fade out the vignette. I want to fade out the instructions. And I want to fade out the title. So basically, I'm giving it the component that I want to fade out. And I'm giving it the time to fade it out. The problem with this is that these two objects have something that's controlling its color instead, unfortunately. So I need to come up with something different for these two things. Luckily, I have these instruction texts that I can use. I have these objects already, the text, fade, and pulse. I should just add another function for fade to delete. Or like a fade out. So I'll do that. So let's do a fade out here. I'll do a fade public void fade out. All right. So I'm gonna actually go and copy something that I have somewhere else for this purpose. Okay. Public bool delete on fade equals true. Let's go over here. So in my UI controller, I have a lot of really great coroutines that I've written for fading out. So this is a fade out coroutine that I made. Fade out coroutine, TMP, blah, blah, blah. What I'll do is come in here. I will fade and pulse. I'm gonna do a private coroutine. I'm gonna say coroutine. My coroutine is equal here. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to capture this coroutine. So I don't know if you know what a coroutine is, but it's basically just a sub process that's run in addition to the game's processes. If I trigger a fade out, I want the coroutine to stop what it's doing and just do what I want from there on out. So I'm gonna do this. Apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. The whole club was looking at her. Routine. How do I stop a coroutine again? How to stop a coroutine? Oh, I think it's like this. Stop coroutine. I think it's like this. So I stop a coroutine. I think that's how. How to stop a coroutine. It's just stop coroutine. Yeah, okay. So we stop the coroutine, no problem. And then I can do a UI controller dot fade out. I can do a fade out TMP. I can do this coroutine. So what I do in this case, I should just be able to call this script right here, fade out coroutine. Unfortunately, don't need that. I don't need that. Okay, I need to get a reference to this UI controller. So I'll do a private UI controller. I don't know why this is here. Private UI controller equals UI controller, and then, dang it, do like that. That's not what I wanted. So UI controller, And then I'm gonna come in here and copy how I got it. So here's my UI controller. This is how I got it. So the UI controller is kind of like a helper. I am not exactly doing the helper right. But if this works, I wish I had it as a global. Could you destroy on fade out? Yes, I can destroy on fade out. That's what I'm gonna do. So UI controller, I'll do a fade out TMP, and then I will feed it the text and fade duration, all of that stuff. Fade duration. Yes. And then I will so this is actually not right. This is not good. This will just fade it out. It's not a big deal that it stays there. Alright, but basically what we do now is we come back to my title screen controller, and so instead of calling these directly, what we do is we take the text pulse script here and we just do fade out. And this should handle this from here. Because there's a built-in fade out function in the text fade in pulse, the TFIP script. So that script has its like built-in stuff. Now, I don't know, this is probably kind of like a little bit of bad coding practice. Doesn't matter. Okay, so we triggered the TFIP. Gloom is pulsing. My any button is to start is pulsing. And then I'll press start. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, so this came back. Player, trigger, wake up. My player should be waking up. Look, he's waking up. My fade didn't work out. My guy's awake. He should be able to move technically. Yeah, there he's awake. That's good, but I am not fading completely. That means that this and this are not working. I will come here. All right, so let's do some debugging. I wonder if this is routine is null. // to comment it. My headphone just, the right ear just went out. Whoa! Both went out. There's better. // could you comment out the fade out mechanics to see if the fade in just works by itself? Wait, say again? What do you want me to do? Could you comment out the fade out mechanic to see if the fade in just works by itself? The fade in works completely. I'm right here. So this title sequence right here, this all works. All of this stuff works right here. And then what happens is I become in control and then I'm ready to start. And then if I'm ready to start, I can press any key and it starts the game's coroutine. So start coroutine, starting game. So and then it triggers this. But I'm getting a null reference exception routine. coroutine is null. I know what to do. I think it's only one coroutine at a time, so we're gonna do private coroutine, routine equals blank. And then so what happens if I press this, we'll do stop coroutine, and then we'll start the new coroutine. Maybe that'll work. Sorry, I wrote some stuff on the side. So what's triggering it to trigger the fade in? I'll show you. So here we go. Null reference exception. Routine is null. I don't know what that means. Okay, so the fade in is triggered right here. So when you start the game, it triggers the title sequence. This title sequence is the function that starts running at the beginning of the game. So you enter your title sequence, this is the UI controller, and it fades in the game. So it goes from a black screen and fades in the game. As it's fading in, you're waiting for 4 seconds. Once the 4 seconds is over, the title text triggers, which means the title text comes in and then pulses. And then also you gain control of the game. And then you wait another 4 seconds, and then the instruction text triggers, which means the instruction text comes in and it starts pulsing. This in control, once you become in control of the game, it's looking to say, hey, I've become in control. I'm also ready to start the game. Once I'm ready to start, if I press any key right now, it'll start another coroutine, which is the starting game coroutine. So this is, again, a sub-process. We start the next function. This starting game starts going off. Title text, fade out. Title instruction, fade out. Oh, I see. I think what's happening, let's look at this. There's an entire stack of things that aren't working right here. If statement. Yeah, it's an if, not an if statement doesn't. So what's triggering it to trigger the fade in again? The fade in isn't triggered, it just happens automatically. Okay, let's look here. Text fade in and pulse, fade out. Oh, I know what to do. Well, I'm pretty sure what it's having a problem with is it's trying to delete a, this is trying to delete a coroutine. But when it fades out, something makes it fade UI back in. It's because, the reason it's doing that is because something else has control over it. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Let's try this. So these guys are giving me a lot of headache. We'll get rid of these. Let's focus on the vignette. The vignette is this border. Let's make sure I can fade out. Oh, hang on. This is supposed to, instead of be fade out, it's supposed to be fade in. He's awake. Okay. Alright, that's one thing at a time. So does that mean... This might be... This script might be better suited as a fade in. Fade in. This is very confusing wording. Fade out means fade to black. Fade in means fade into transparency. I might consider rewording all of this stuff to just be one thing, fade, and then the alpha. I might be able to condense this down. Do I want to do that? It would cut this all down, but I'd have to rewrite a lot. Okay, let's do it. Screw it, why not? It'll be more versatile. Fade coroutine. Let's do raw image. Fade coroutine, raw image, raw temp, which is the image. And then we do a float alpha, and then duration, wait, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now a blah, 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 float alpha, temp, alpha target. This becomes alpha. And then this is original. Okay. And then this is alpha target. There you go. And then this is alpha. So this is my alpha target. This is my temp color. It's original alpha. And it lerps between these two things. Okay. Now, I don't need to change these. I just need to do black screen. If fade out means that we are 0 to 1F. Is that right? Why is this not working? Ah, because this is just the fade coroutine now. And then this becomes the fade coroutine as well. And this goes from 1 to F0. That should still work. Fade raw image will be the only thing. And so I do float alpha. Okay, and then we do alpha. here, and then we just do this. So now we no longer have fade out, fade in, but we do have for the screen. But we'll rename this fade to black, and then fade in, fade to black, fade to visible, or fade in. We'll leave that the way it is. Let's see what we messed up. Fade in raw image. So we'll just say fade raw image. Oh. So now we only have fade to black, fade raw image. So fade raw image is all we got. Yeah, I kind of fixed some things around. Okay, we'll do like this. So then we don't have to change anything. We just have fade raw image. So the vignette will fade away. Instructions. Let's change this to fade away. Fade away. I just want this wording to be more clear because it currently isn't really clear. Okay, let's make sure this works. Dang it, I messed it up. This works. It's 5. Something happened. Something's weird. Something different is going on. Oh, whoa. I got a message. Oh, it's Ethan. Why is it happening so fast? It's happening so fast. I think I need to bump this up, maybe? Because this is what's controlling how quickly that's happening. That helped a lot, but it's still not the same speed that it was before. Damn, man. Is there like what did I do that has sped it up so fast? That is very clearly not working. Oh, this should be fine. But what we're dealing with is this. The vignette fading away. Okay, so something's going on with the duration for sure. Duration. I don't know what happened to it, or why it's behaving the way it is. Let's just add that on top. Oh, excuse me. Okay, cool. Okay, I kind of like the vignette. I like having the vignette. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this, paste it here. I'm going to add another vignette just into the game itself. But we're going to use vignette 1 instead of vignette 2. Turn that off. We're gonna untag this. Okay, just a little bit of vignette. Nice. Hi, Ethan. I see you, buddy. Alright. That's all working. Now it is the text. The text is not going away like I want it to. I'm almost done. Let's play some games after this. I don't know how late you're gonna stay up. But I'm like on the verge of getting the title stuff working. So this isn't working away. This isn't working exactly. So let's do trigger fade away. Let's do a debug here. Let's do TFIP fade away. No, I'm gonna put this on an itch. This is going to itch. Steam would be cool, but I don't think the game is gonna be long enough for Steam. Oh, I love that title sequence. Okay, so the stop coroutine looks like it's working. Okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna do a private, instead of a coroutine, we're gonna go Boolean style, pulsing. That's true. So while pulsing, do this, and we'll say pulsing equals false, and then UI fade text blah blah blah, fade out TMP. All right, let's try that. I think this is your best game so far. Really? You like this? That's good, dude. That makes me happy. Why do you think that? And I haven't even like really gotten into the game yet. That makes me happy. What script am I calling exactly? I think I might actually be calling fade in TMP, maybe? What does fade out TMP do? Fade out TMP. Let's go look. It's my fade raw image. There's my fade to black, and there's my fade in. So this actually is incorrect now. Fade color to designated alpha, designed for raw images. Fade out TMP. So the fade out TMP gets the original color, and we go from 0 to 1. Yeah, that means I want to use fade in TMP, which just does not make any sense. So, in that case, we will do the same thing that we did for raw images. We're going to do a fade coroutine TMP with an alpha. I guess not mechanic-wise. Velocity Rush is best game you've made mechanic-wise, but this is your first game that feels like an actual indie game I would play on Steam. It feels like the graphics are very polished. Thank you, Ethan. Load alpha. Fade coroutine TMP. We're gonna match how we did this in here. So alpha target is equal to temp color alpha, like this. And then this is going to be alpha target. Okay, this messes up so much stuff, this coroutine being changed. Okay, so then we say float alpha. Float alpha. But I know that this will work if I can just get this correct. Like, kind of similar to the other stuff. Fade and designated for raw images. Fade to designated alpha designed for TMP. XMesh Pro. Okay, awesome. This messes up some stuff here and here, right? No, the fade and pulse is actually its own thing. So, in that case, this is the only thing that uses it. Fade TMP, and I have to designate the controller. UI controller, fade TMP with a designated alpha, and I will say this is always 0, just like the fade raw image, but I like the code for this game. I feel like this game's code has been done really well so far. It's on the base, like I've started a baseline really well. So this should fade in nicely. That fades in nicely. And if I start, I went way too fast. But I know that the raw image code, the fade, the TMP, this duration needed to change. This needed a duration addition. So I'll put the addition here. It's not as impressive code-wise compared to Velocity Rush, but it definitely has the best design and very polished. Like, I can almost already imagine how the music and sound design is based on. Yeah, I need to work on the music. You should send me some examples of music that you think it should have. Okay. So that didn't exactly work. What was it that I tabbed out as soon as you said it? I was just saying you should send me some examples of music that you think would be good for the game. The duration is 1, so 100. Oh, am I messing up here? There it is. Fade coroutine, we do alpha here. Okay. Okay, that's not working. Fade coroutine TMP. You should look up, like, it's an indie game I played on Switch when I was 12. The game was quite sad, but I think it would fit. Yeah, you should send me that stuff. Okay. And then I need to come back here. TMP fade, fade. Okay. So this needs to be alpha. I need to go to fade away, so I do 0F, then fade duration, because I was doing fade duration as the thingy, the first parameter. So I need to define this parameter first. Oh, that's so smart. Okay, this should work. Oh, it works! Oh, hell yeah. Hang on. So, then we do this. Check this out. We get the title as well. Fade away, baby. Fade away. Alright, so we're gonna zoom in. Oh, crap. What happened? Oh, I know what happened. Hang on. I gotta fix it. This vignette sits inside of the UI, so I just need to fix this vignette in particular. Because it's inside, it's its own thing. Let me see, hang on. This vignette is based on something else. Damn it. Okay. I don't want to just stick the vignette. It's a raw image. I think that's probably why. And the game starts! Let's go! It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. What do you think, Ethan? Oh, it looks so good, dude. Crap. Why does it do that? Oh, hang on. I messed up something. This pulsing goes false. This should... Oh, okay. Well... Okay. Elapsed. Okay, and I'll do... And pulsing. Okay, that should fix that. Because it'll go through that process regardless, and so if I stop it... That's actually kind of messed up. Okay, that all works. Now what the hell do I do about this? This is a UI thing that I've got messed up. Okay, I got things figured out. Title sequence is good. I'm a little confused by this. What have I done exactly here? See that? Why is that like that? Is it because the UI canvas is all messed up? Oh, there it is. Scale with screen size, please. That just means I need to fix this. There we go. Better. Alright, that should work now. The second vignette, I know. There we go. I got it. Now I need to work on the pause menu and the settings menu, and then get some sound in the game. And then we can start building. Oh my god, it looks so good. I want to make the second vignette a little bit more pixelated because I don't like the way it looks. But that's it, dude. Oh, let's go, dude. It looks so good. I'm so happy with the way the title sequence is coming along. Alright, anyways, I'm going to be getting off. I'll be streaming again tomorrow, probably. Hope you guys had a good night. You need some help from the Hainer with the music. Yes, I know. I need to work on the music. Alright, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.